Missing Michael Vaughan, Monkey Mondays, where we only cover the facts. Missing Michael Vaughan, Timeline, Part 12. South American President Nelson Mandela once said, "Together as a nation, we have the obligation to put sunshine into the hearts of our little ones. They are our precious possessions. They deserve what happiness life can offer."
Because somebody has to know something, somebody has to have seen something. And you just try to keep pushing forward.
Michael Joseph Bond, affectionately called Monkey by his family, entered the world on June 24th, 2016, as the cherished son of Tyler Vaughan and Brandy Neal, residing in a neighborhood adjacent to Southwest 9th Street in Fruitland, Idaho. Fruitland, nestled along the Snake and Payette rivers in Payette County, Idaho, lies on the scenic U.S. Route 95 in the Treasure Valley of Southwest Idaho, approximately 50 miles west of Boise, bordering Oregon. Fruitland boasts its namesake orchards and proudly bears the Moncler, the Big Apple of Idaho. As per the 2010 census, the city's population surpassed 4,500 residents. On a warm day, on July 27th, 2021, Brandy missed a stretch of consecutive workdays, anticipated a few upcoming days off for much needed relaxation and quality time with her children. Departing for work, she exchanged affectionate words with Michael, promising to return promptly to engage in playtime and tuck him into bed. Little did she know, events would unfold differently. Michael, renowned for his boundless energy and familiar nickname of Monkey, was under the care of his father, Tyler, who diligently looked after all the children. Michael, immersed in his Nintendo Switch adventures, reveled in the day's activities. Around 4 p.m., during Brandy's routine check in, everything appeared normal. However, a few hours later, a simple task would spiral into a frantic search. As Tyler tended to Michael's baby sister, whose nickname is Buggy, and ordered a pizza for the family, he suddenly realized Michael was nowhere to be found. Despite occasional wonderings, the disappearance felt differently. Hastily scouring the vicinity, Tyler's efforts to locate Michael came up empty. Panic ensued as Brandy, upon receiving the distressing call, rushed home from work, meeting police officers near their residence.
Renewed search for a 5-year-old boy named Michael Monkey Vaughan.
Searching for answers.
It's been 9
Michael
months
Vaughan
since
went missing
5-year-old
in summer
Michael
of
Vaughan are working to
2021.
bring
Search for Michael
5-year-old
Vaughan, the
Michael
5-year-old
Vaughan
boy
home.
out of Fruitland
2
continues
days
this week.
since 5-year-old Michael Vaughan was last seen outside his neighborhood in Fruitland.
Already engaged in search operations, witness accounts trickled in narrating sightings of Michael within the neighborhood between 6 and 7 p.m., seemingly at ease but ultimately disappearing. Community solidarity surfaced as locals mobilized to calm every conceivable hiding spot,
A
from
lot of
trash
the
cans to park
investigation has
restrooms,
revolved
in
around
a
almost
desperate bid to locate
300
the missing
tips from the
child.
public. The department says
Despite
every
exhaustive
tip is
efforts,
being
including
followed up.
collaborations between
A lot
various
of
law
the
enforcement agencies and extensive search operations spanning residential properties, fields, bodies of water, Michael remained elusive. CCTV footage, tips, aerial reconnaissance, and specialized resources failed to yield any breakthroughs. In the ensuing months, the relentless pursuit for Michael continued, with his family tirelessly advocating and the community rallying behind him. Heartfelt prayers, poster campaigns, and awareness drives underscored the collective determination to bring Michael home safely. Brandy and Tyler worked tirelessly to keep Michael's name and face on everyone's mind. How many times can a human heart break? I don't even know how many times mine does in a day, Brandy told a reporter from KBOI News. By November 2021, with little evidence uncovered, law enforcement reluctantly shifted focus, suspecting foul play. The family, having cooperated fully, underwent scrutiny and were eventually cleared of suspicion. Despite the setback, the quest for answers and closure persevered, epitomizing the unwavering resolve to reunite Michael with his loved ones. For tips, or if you have any information, please contact the Payette County Sheriff's Office at 208 642 6006. Anonymous tips can be sent through Crime Stoppers at 208 343 2677 or call the National Children for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-843-5678 or call 911. April 17th, 2023. Brandy Neal told KTVB News she knows police are steadfast in their investigation and will bring justice for Michael. The mother of missing Fruitland boy Michael Vaughan told KTVB she is disheartened and upset after charges against the only person who has been charged in her son's disappearance so far were dismissed on Monday. However, Vaughan's mother, Brandy Neal, said she is confident in the law enforcement investigating the case. I know police are steadfast in their ongoing investigation and in bringing justice for Michael, Neal said. She said she can't comment on why the prosecutor's office asked for the case to be dismissed, but she does say one thing to anyone with any involvement in Vaughn's disappearance. Charges are forthcoming. She asked for the public to keep Vaughn's beautiful face out there because we still need answers and tips and information from people who aren't talking. Michael Vaughan was 5 years old when he went missing July 27th, 2021, from Fruitland, Idaho. The case against Sarah Wandra, 35, was dismissed by the judge Monday morning at the request of the prosecutor's office. June 22nd, 2023. Michael Joseph Vaughan's 7th birthday is June 24th, 2023, in Fruitland. Saturday is Michael Monkey Vaughan's 7th birthday. His parents, Tyler Vaughan and Brandy Neal, won't be hosting any public events this year due to negative backlash following last year's event. Rather, they will be celebrating Michael during a private gathering with family. Michael was last seen near his neighborhood in Fruitland on July 27th, 2021. A spokesperson for the family is working on connecting the Argus Observer with his parents for an interview as the milestone approaches. In mid-April, Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff said he was hoping to turn the case over to the prosecutor in the near future. A request for an update on how the investigation is going and whether he is nearer to handing the case over has not been returned.
Happy birthday, monkey. We love you.
July 27th, 2023, City of Fruitland Police Department's Facebook page. Update: the search for Michael Vaughan. The search continues for Michael Joseph Vaughan, now age 7. On the second anniversary of Michael's abduction, the case remains very active. Our work has not stopped. Our ground searches have continued as recent as this month, and we continue the arduous task of filtering through new tips and leads. The investigation is moving into a new phase as investigators have submitted this case along with a probable cause affidavit to the Piatt County prosecutor. As a result, any inquiries regarding this case will be referred to the Piatt County prosecutor's office at 1-208-642-6096. Their community support has been remarkable, along with the unwavering patience with our team. We are committed and our tenacity steadfast. To date, the Fruitland Police Department has received over 2,000 tips and leads. If someone has or learns of information that can help find Michael, we want that information. We continue to ask that you remain vigilant and please share the poster link at www.fruitland.org. Tips can be sent to Find Michael at fruitland.org or to Crime Stoppers at 343cops.com. Tips may remain anonymous. Please keep Michael in your prayers. This Facebook page is the only source for credible firsthand information in this case. Please continue to follow this page for more updates as they are available.
Today marks 2 years since 5-year-old Michael Monkey Vaughan went missing from his home in Fruitland. Fruitland Police Department said today on Facebook they have submitted a case to the Fayette County prosecutor. In this case, a prosecutor would review a probable cause affidavit and decide whether or not to take the case before a judge. If there's enough evidence, a judge can issue an arrest warrant. We don't know what's in that affidavit, though. On July 27th of 2021, Michael Vaughan was reported missing from his front yard. He hasn't been seen since. Police later announced 4 suspects they believe know something about his disappearance. The Fruitland Police Department has also searched the home and excavated the backyard of a neighbor after a specialty trained dog hinted at human remains. However, none were found. Michael's mom issued a statement today. Brandy Neal said, "It has been very hard for us this past month. Everything feels like the day Monkey went missing all over again. It's so hard every day, but for days like these, birthdays, Halloween, Christmas, everything without Michael here is heartache. We stand strong with law enforcement, the community, and family." If you have any information about Michael's whereabouts, you're asked to contact the Fruitland Police Department.
October 6, 2023.
Well, new information on the woman originally charged in connection with the disappearance of Michael Vaughan. Sarah Wandra will serve between 3 and 7 years in prison on 2 state charges unrelated to Michael's case. Court records show she pleaded guilty to aggravated assault and alteration or concealment of evidence, and these crimes happened in April of 2022. Wandra also faced a federal gun charge, but that was dropped yesterday because she was prosecuted for the state charges. She remains in the Fayette County Jail awaiting transfer to the Idaho Department of Correction. Again, authorities say these charges are not related to the Vaughan case. And Wandra was originally charged with failing to report a death in connection to Michael's disappearance, but that charge was dropped this spring. She was originally arrested in November of 2022 after Fruitland police said investigators determined she may have known about Michael's death and failed to report it. Investigators searched the Fruitland home she shared with her husband Stacy after receiving a tip that Michael's remains may be there, but the search turned up nothing. Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff tells us he believes Michael's remains were buried there but were later removed. Michael, who went missing in July of 2021, has yet to be found. Meantime, her husband Stacy was just sentenced to federal prison on Wednesday after pleading guilty to a federal charge of unlawful possession of a firearm. Stacy will serve another 4 months on top of the 17 months he's already spent in custody, and court records show he will serve that time in the Ada County Jail. These charges are also unrelated to Michael's disappearance.
November 13th, 2023.
Jude, thank you. First, at 4, one of the people police believe was involved in Michael Vaughan's disappearance was released from federal custody last Thursday. Less than 2 weeks ago, Stacy Wandra was sentenced to 21 months after pleading guilty to unlawful possession of a firearm. Important to note, this charge was unrelated to Vaughan's disappearance. As we previously reported, Wandra had already served 17 months and was expected to serve another 4 in the Ada County Jail under the U.S. Marshal Service custody. But today, I learned the Bureau of Prisons directed the Marshal Service to release Wandra because he finished his sentence. The Marshal Service told me Wandra served 21 months, constituting credit for time served before trial, as well as nearly 2 years of good time credit. He's now on supervised release. And this week marks 1 year since Fruitland police dug in the Wandra's backyard, searching for little Michael Vaughan's remains. Michael went missing from his Fruitland neighborhood near the Wandra's home in July of 2021. Fruitland police submitted a case to the Fayette County prosecutor this summer that they say involves Stacy and his wife Sarah, as well as 2 other people.
On January 8th, 2024, Stacy Wandra, a person of interest in the Michael Vaughan case, came to YouTube to share his version of the day and the days following Michael's disappearance. In an effort to clear his name, Stacy appeared on various creators' channels, each time providing his account of the events. He expressed a desire to answer questions and dispel any suspicion surrounding him. However, instead of clarifying the situation, Stacy's interviews seemed to generate more doubt and questions among the public. Each interview revealed new details and variations in Stacy's timeline of the events surrounding Michael's disappearance. These inconsistencies only fueled further suspicion and uncertainty about his involvement. While Stacy's intentions may have been to exonerate himself, the changing narratives he presented during these interviews had the opposite effect. While Stacy spoke to different creators, his recounting of the day Michael went missing varied. In one interview, he might detail specific actions he took or places he visited, while in another, those details could change or be omitted entirely. This lack of consistency led to many to question the reliability of his statements. The discrepancies in his timeline were particularly troubling as they struggled either a flawed memory or potential deception. His willingness to engage with multiple YouTube creators and his openness to answering questions initially seemed like a positive step towards transparency. However, the conflicting information provided in each interview created an air of confusion and mistrust. Instead of providing a clear and coherent account of events, Stacy's various stories made it difficult for people to discern the truth. The public reaction to Stacy's interview was largely skeptical. Many viewers took to social media to express their doubts and frustrations. They pointed out the inconsistencies in his stories and speculated about his true motives. Some questioned why he would change his timeline if he had nothing to hide, while others wondered if the pressure of being a person of interest had caused him to falter in his recounting of events. Stacey Wonder's series of interviews on YouTube intended to clear his name in the Michael Vaughan case had the unintended consequence of raising more questions and doubts about his involvement. The inconsistencies in his timeline and the additional details that emerged in each interview only served to deepen the public's skepticism and concern. Instead of achieving clarity and exoneration, Stacy's efforts resulted in an increased suspicion and uncertainty surrounding his role in the disappearance of Michael Vaughan. January 15th, 2024.
I'm here to clear my name.
The people Fruitland Police is now calling a suspect in the abduction of Michael Monkey Vaughan spoke to New 7 Investigates Morgan Romero. Fruitland's police chief told us for the first time Stacy Wandra is a suspect in the little boy's disappearance. His wife Sarah was previously charged with failure to report Michael's death, but that charge was dropped several months later, though she remains a suspect. Now, along with the Wandras, police labeled 2 men who lived with them, Adrian Lucien and Brandon Shirtliff, suspects who absolutely know what happened to Michael. 5 years old at the time, Michael disappeared from his Fruitland home on Southwest 9th Street on July 27, 2021. In November of 2022, we were there as crews searched and excavated the property where those 4 suspects lived, just 2-minute drive from the Vaughn's home. Police said they had credible information from someone living in the Wandras' house that Michael's body was there. Human remains, dogs alerted, but ultimately Michael wasn't found. Police believe Michael was buried in the yard and then moved. Fruitland police sent probable cause to the Payette County prosecutor last summer to be presented to a grand jury. Police Chief J.D. Huff says a grand jury hasn't convened yet, but they will soon. Although that case centers around the Wandras and their roommates, Stacy tells us he knows nothing about Michael's abduction.
Stacy Wandra, S-T-A-C-E-Y.
It's been 2 months since Stacy Wandra was released from federal custody, convicted of a gun crime unrelated to the disappearance of little Michael Vaughan.
And what have you been doing since?
I've been trying to live my life the best way I can.
Stacy agreed to interview with me to, quote, clear his name.
I have no reason to hide anything from anybody. I'm not that type of person. I'm an open book. You can ask me anything, and I will tell you an honest answer to it.
Were you involved in the disappearance of Michael Vaughan?
No.
Why do police think you were?
I have no idea.
Stacy thinks law enforcement's case may hinge on Adrian Lucien, one of the men living with Stacy and his wife at the time Michael disappeared. One of the men police are calling a suspect.
Any clues or evidence that could point to that, from your knowledge?
No.
Okay.
I would never have thought Sarah or Brendan or Adrian would, maybe Adrian, but I wouldn't have thought Sarah or Brendan would have ever done something like this. I was not even home at the night of the disappearance. I know that at that nighttime, Sarah, Brandon, and I had left to CUNA to go recover his tow his vehicle.
Elaborate on that day a little bit more. You said you were working?
Yeah, so I did a taxi ride from Ontario to Boise. I know that I was gone a good portion of the day from like 1 p.m. in the afternoon to like about 4. Spent some time with a former coworker or boss that I used to work for. I think I spent maybe an hour, hour and a half, and then had come back home. And the neighborhood was completely solitude. It was quiet.
Stacy claims he, Brandon, and Sarah left their house and headed to Cuna to tow Brandon's car around 5:30 to 6 p.m. on July 27, 2021. Brandon blew a spark plug and couldn't drive it, he says. Fruitland police believe Monkey went missing between 6:40 and 7 p.m. that night.
When we got back, I think about between 9 and 10 o'clock at night, we noticed there was an excessive amount of people out in the community walking around the neighborhood. We had stopped and asked what was going on, and they said that a boy had been abducted or been taken, and it was news to me. It was news to Sarah, what it seemed like, and Brandon. We got home, Brandon and Sarah decided they were going to go look for the boy, and I was in the process of getting the vehicle detached from the truck because it was taking up the whole length of the street pretty much.
Stacy later clarified to me he wasn't initially told Michael was abducted, just that he was missing. And where was Adrian that day?
Adrian and Brandon and Sarah all took a trip to Boise in the morning before I did my taxi ride. It was Adrian wanted to go see his kid.
He claims Adrian stayed in either Boise or Nampa all night.
Is that what they told you, or do you know that to be true for a fact?
I mean, that's just what I'm going based off of. I mean, I was told the same thing that's, all over. I wasn't with them.
Human cadaver dogs are highly reliable. Why did police tell you that human cadaver dogs pinged on your property at that home?
They didn't really give an explanation. They just said that the dogs had hit around the property. But, I mean, there was nothing. I don't even know how that's even feasible because like I said, I've never even heard of this kid. I've never seen this kid, never knew anything about him.
Police said that they believe Michael's body was buried there and then moved. Can you think of any time that his body would have been buried there and then moved? Does anything stand out to you?
Not at all. They were saying that he was buried by the shed. Makes absolutely no sense. There's been no dig marks. There's no trench marks. There's nothing. The ground was a complete grassed area.
Could it have happened when you weren't around and it was potentially covered up?
It could have, very possibly. I just know that I wasn't around for any of it. I have no idea. I would like to know what happened to him.
They did say that they recovered several pieces of evidence at your home and on your property. Do you know what those pieces of evidence were?
Well, it's news to me.
The day after our interview,
he was playing with something.
Stacy gave a YouTuber a new piece of information.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to recollect as best as I can for you.
He, Brandon, and Sarah pulled over to put power steering fluid in his car right after they left for Cuna the day Michael was abducted. He says they saw a child playing by himself on the sidewalk down the street around the corner from the Vaughn's home.
The kid that I saw did not depict Michael. I mean, he wasn't like a little kid, you know what I mean? Like he was, that's why I said it didn't concern me at all that he was out and about doing his thing.
Stacy says he doesn't know what's in the probable cause affidavit police sent to prosecutors. The one police say centers around him, Sarah, Adrian, and Brandon.
Do you think police have anything on you or your wife?
I personally know for a fact they don't have anything against me or on me. I have no knowledge. Again, I wasn't even home. I have no knowledge of who this little boy is, his whereabouts, or anything about him.
In his interview with the YouTuber, Stacy said his attorney told him he's no longer a person of interest in Michael's abduction. Chief Huff tells me that's not true. When I called Stacy's attorney to get a straight answer, his attorney told me, quote, "I have no comment at this time," and hung up. I also reached out to Michael's mom, Brandy Neal, to let her know about this interview airing. She was appreciative and said the most important thing in the world is to get Michael home.
March 21st, 2024. Warrant for arrest. United States District Court, District of Idaho, United States of America versus Stacey James Wandra. Received by United States Marshal Service at 1:46 p.m., March 20th, 2024. 2. The United States Marshal and any authorized United States officer. You are hereby commanded to arrest Stacey James Wander and bring forthwith to the nearest magistrate judge to answer on the petition on supervised release, charging with the below listed violation. Violation of terms and conditions of petition on supervised release. This warrant was received on 3/20/2024 at Boise, Idaho, and executed with the arrest of the above named on 3/21/2024. On March 21st, 2024, Stacey Wander was arrested for violating the terms and condition of his supervised release. The arrest warrant was executed and subsequently filed with the clerk's office on the same day. The details of the case against Stacey James Wander are as follows. On 3/21/2024, arrest. Stacey Wander was taken into custody for violating the conditions of his supervised release. Warrant filed. The arrest warrant was returned, executed, and filed with the clerk's office on March 21st, 2024. Docket text notice of hearing. A docket text notice was issued for Stacey Wander indicating that the initial appearance on revocation proceedings was scheduled for March 26, 2024 at 11:45 in Boyce Courtroom 7 before U.S. Magistrate Judge Raymond Edward Patrico, Jr. Notices were sent both to the USP and the USM. March 25th, 2024. Motion for detention. The United States Attorney's Office, represented by Aaron Blackdar, filed a motion for detention against Stacey James Wandra. This notice was also sent to the United States Probation Office. March 26, 2024. Initial appearance. Stacey appeared before U.S. Magistrate Judge Raymond Edward Patrico, Jr. for an initial hearing regarding the revocation of his supervised release. The notice was sent to both the USP and the United States Marshal Service during this proceeding. It was determined that a final hearing regarding the revocation of Stacey's supervised release would be held on May 28, 2024 at 9 a.m. Boise Courtroom 2 before Judge Amanda K. Brailsford. Motions terminated. The motion for detention filed by the USA was terminated. The case proceedings highlight the legal actions taken against Stacey James Wander for his violation of supervised release terms. The steps included his arrest, the filing of an executed warrant, motions for detention, and scheduled court appearances, culminating in a final hearing set for late May. Michael Joseph Vaughan, lovingly called Monkey, was born on June 24, 2016, to parents Brandy Neal and Tyler Vaughan. With a lively spirit and a love for adventure, Michael is the essence of joy. His striking blue eyes and golden blonde hair, paired with his playful natures, have captured the hearts of everyone who knows him. Tragically, Michael went missing on July 27, 2021, in Fruitland, Idaho, at just 5 years old. Michael, who is 3 feet 7 inches tall and weighs about 50 pounds, was last seen wearing a light blue Minecraft t-shirt, dark blue boxer briefs, and sandals. Despite tireless efforts from the community and law enforcement, his whereabouts remain unknown. Investigations revealed that Michael was taken near his home on Southwest 9th Street in Arizona between 6:40 p.m. and 7 p.m. The Fruitland Police Department urges anyone with information to come forward by calling 1-208-642-6006 or dialing 911. The community's continued support and vigilance are essential in bringing Michael safely back to his family. If you have any information on Michael, please call the Fruitland Police Department at 208-642-6006. Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS and 1-800-222-8477. Or call the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-843-5678 or dial 911.
I need you to know how much Michael is loved. I need you to know how much he is missed. Our family is broken.
You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop.